For 25 years, this man shut himself away in his crumbling mansion. James Lucas was born in 1813 to wealthy landowners and had once enjoyed a life of comfort at Elmwood House in Hertfordshire. However, after the death of his mother in 1849, his behaviour began to take a disturbing turn. For 3 months, he lived alongside her decaying body, unable or unwilling to part with her, and this marked the beginning of his withdrawal from the world. Consumed by fear and paranoia, he grew distrustful of his relatives and others, driving him to isolation. He sealed every window and door with thick wood, chains and locks, transforming the once beautiful mansion into a cage of seclusion. The house began to deteriorate under the weight of neglect. James solely lived in his rat-infested kitchen, where he slept on a bed of ashes and soot. He wore no clothing and draped himself in a thin blanket for warmth, and paid no mind to cleanliness. His hair grew long and matted, eventually reaching his waist, a reflection of the years of self-abandonment. Despite this, he still received deliveries of bread, milk and gin, and maintained some level of contact with the outside world, speaking to visitors through a barred window. His eccentric lifestyle made him a national curiosity, and people from all over the country travelled to see him. In particular, James enjoyed the company of children and beggars, often giving them pennies and sweets on holidays such as Christmas and Good Friday. Many thought he was suffering with mental illness, and attempts were made to have him committed to an asylum, but James was too articulate and clever. In 1874, after suffering a stroke, James was found by one of his watchmen, paralysed and barely conscious. The police, led by Inspector John Reynolds, forced their way into the mansion, breaking through the barricades that James had spent years building. He was then moved to a nearby farm for further care, but 2 days later he passed away. At the time of his death, his fortune was valued at £120,000. Following his passing, workers cleared 17 cartloads of dirt and ashes from his house. James was laid to rest in the family grave at Hackney Churchyard, and in 1893 the mansion was demolished.